Ever wondered what it's like to study amidst famous English landmarks like Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, and Kensington Gardens? Stay tuned to hear all about the USF in London program on a special edition of the Honor Roll podcast, coming up next. Hey, Honors Bulls, we are back with another bonus episode of the Honor Roll podcast. And today we are talking about the USF in London program, a 4-week immersive experience in London, England during the summer B term. I'm here today with honor students Cece Nelson and Jordon Myrick, who will share their experiences studying abroad in London with USF. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. My name's Cece, and I'm majoring in biomedical sciences, and I'm also double minoring in religion and health and classics.
Hi, my name is Jordon Myrick, and I'm a senior double majoring in English with a concentration in creative writing and sociology, and then a minor in anthropology.
All right, it's really nice to have you here. Can you kind of give us an overview of the trip?
Yeah, so the USF in London program is basically a summer B month-long study abroad program that takes place from the end of June until the end of July. And during that time, us as students, we just went to classes there at um, I think it was like
It was like a third party
yeah.
program that's designed to partner with schools who are studying abroad. So it wasn't necessarily tied in with a college.
Mhm.
Over there, it was like third party program. It was called AES.
Yeah. And it was really cool because we weren't just in the AES building, we were also spending a lot of our class days outside and around the city just exploring. It was really, I feel like it was really like applied and like feet on the ground, just exploring to learn. I really liked it.
Nice. And can you tell us a little bit about why you chose to go on the USF in London trip specifically?
So I went because I am a senior and I really wanted to like study abroad because everyone who has been to college is like, this is such an amazing experience that if you have the opportunity to go, you should study abroad. And I was like really wanting to. And then I did have I had my capstone requirement that I still had to do, and they offered capstone in London. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could just take my capstone in London. So
For me, I had been to London once, I think when I was a freshman in college, and I didn't get to spend very much time there, maybe like 6 days, and I feel like that was not enough time to explore the city. So that's one of the things that drew me to. I had a lot of people around me saying such great things about it and how much fun it was, and it made me apply.
Yeah. And then what was it like in general just studying in London? How did that feel?
For me, it was really surreal because I feel like you're still like living your life, but you're just living your life in another country.
Yeah.
It was really cool because every single day we would wake up and then you would go into the common area, you just look out and you just see London. It felt like it wasn't real those days. And it was also very fast paced. Like I know our mornings were very chaotic because we were roommates during the
Oh,
trip.
that's sweet.
It was a lot of fun, but I know that um, Cece was very much on top of scheduling, and I was not. So I was usually late, and that led us to like having to beat the morning rush because we had to get to class by 9:30, and we had to factor in maybe a 30-minute commute by the tube or by the bus. And then you're dealing with people going to work, and you're dealing with just random passersby on the street, and you're trying not to get hit by the cars or the bikes because they'll just keep going. And so it was just a very like energetic, always on the move sort of
Mhm.
experience, but it was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
What were your classes like while you were there?
They were pretty interesting. They did have like a classroom component, so we did spend some time in the classroom just like having lectures and stuff. But then they were also kind of cool because on Fridays and then some other weekdays when we had class, we would go on excursions out. So it was kind of like we were learning stuff in the classroom and then kind of applying it to real life experiences, which was really neat. In the capstone class, one of our like first experiences was going to the British Museum. So we got to do that during class time, and that was pretty cool. So
Can you tell us a little bit about the excursions that you went on? Like, did you have a favorite one?
um so with the capstone class, we went to, like I said before, the British Museum. We went to the Tate Modern, which is a modern art museum. we went to Regent's Park and did sort of a sound walk, which I think that was my favorite excursion for that class because we downloaded this app and it played different music depending upon where you walked in the
That was
park.
really cool.
Yeah, it was like so like calming and
It
like
was.
yeah.
I absolutely love when there's like museums with that interactive element that you
Yes.
can either like be a part of it or they have some like other element, like you said, like an auditory element that really brings you in. That's so cool.
It was really cool. In that same class, we also went to Shakespeare's Globe,
Mhm.
and that was so fantastic because I think we went to see what was it?
I think it was Much Ado About
It was Much
Nothing.
Ado About Nothing, and that's one of my favorite plays. And it was just really cool because that was the theater where Shakespeare and his whole acting troupe used to perform their plays like during that time. So it was just really interesting just being in that space. We were standing in the crowd, we weren't sitting. So we were like the common people during
Yes.
that time. It was really cool though because one of the actors actually gave me an orange off of the stage and I wasn't expecting that to happen. So it was really immersive and interactive and they really involved you in the performance and that was a really cool aspect too.
That's so fantastic to hear. And like outside of class, obviously you were in Europe. So did you get to go like travel anywhere else, like outside?
So yes, we did. We thought about going to Scotland, but unfortunately that did not happen because we did not plan it in advance and it was quite expensive. But we did manage to take some day trips out. So we went to Brighton and then we went to Dover, Oxford, Kew, and I think that's it.
That was it.
Yeah. So those were all like places you had to use the train to get to. I think you could have used the tube to get to Kew, but we wanted to have the full experience and go on the train because we don't really have trains in Florida.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So
What would you say to other students to kind of like encourage them to sign up for this program, or what kind of advice would you give them?
I feel like this is a program that definitely stretches like your perspective, but also like what you're used to, like your personal boundaries with yourself and with how you experience the world. I think what's really unique about the USF in London program is that it throws you in the center of like one of the most like active and busy cities in the world. And you just have to keep living your life like you're a student there first and foremost. So you have to have a schedule and you have to do your assignments, but you're also doing it in a very like hectic international place. And it was a very unique experience because I feel like with that you were learning how to um for me it was like balancing different stimuli sort of with the tube station, with running into all these different people, but you're also meeting so many people. I just feel like it's an experience that where you learn a lot about yourself and you're developing a lot about um what exactly you can handle and do in another place in an unfamiliar location. So I think it's really good if you're wanting to step outside of your comfort zone and learn more about yourself.
I'd say that if you're worried sort of about finances, the Honors College is very generous with scholarships for study abroad specifically. So that really helped me because like before my parents were kind of like, "Oh, how expensive is it going to be?" But the Honors College really helped that out. And then I think that if you're like debating on whether or not study abroad is for you, I think that means you should do it because
Yeah.
it was such like a life-changing experience that I think if you're sort of like on the fence on whether or not you should do it, you should definitely like do it because you do get like different perspectives and you do get to like learn a lot about yourself and it might even help in your future endeavors. So
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast and being here with me today.
Thank you.
thank you for having us.
If you're interested in trips like the London, England program, check out the Honors Study Abroad page for more information on how to get involved. That'll do it for this week's episode. The Honor Roll podcast is recorded in the Judy Genshaft Honors College at the University of South Florida, Tampa campus. Production assistance is provided by honors student Sandra Napolitano. Thank you all so much for listening, and please do not forget to rate and review our podcast as we appreciate your feedback. We'll be back next week with more honor stories, so stay tuned for more episodes where we talk more honor study abroad.
Until next time, go Bulls!